I realize that my hair kind of looks terrible. It actually looks better in person because it's all curly and wavy, but that's not the fact. The fact of this video is the book that I talked about the other day, called, I don't know if you can see it, it's really bright outside, The Journey Home. And it is written by a person's spiritual messenger named Creon, and the actual woman's name is, I cannot find it, but if I find it I will put it in the information. Lee Carroll. There you go. And it's a parable that basically means that it's a book of a story with a human moral of life. And what this one was about is a man named Michael Thomas that goes through 7 houses into a spiritual realm to reach home, his home that he wanted to wish for. I'm sorry if you can hear my TV, it's Family Guy. But what's really amazing about the book is that each home has its own angel, and each angel is a different color and has a different symbol. Like, the first house is the House of Maps, where he receives a map, obviously, to continue on with his journey and find the houses easier instead of, just following this path, which you can obviously get lost on. The second house is the House of Gifts, where he receives crystals that go within his body and receives armor, a sword, I believe the Sword of Truth, the Shield of Knowledge, and I can't remember what the armor of something was called, and it basically shields him from this entity, this green, disgusting entity that follows him throughout the path until he makes it to the 7th house, that is basically his human side that's keeping him from allowing his spiritual self out into the world. The third house is the House of Biology, which makes you realize that you're not just one person, you're not just one thing. It's all of you. All the cells in your body, it's we. It's not just one person. Like, if you, even him, the angel bashed on his toe. And not only did his toe feel the pain, his whole body can feel the pain. His mind's feeling the pain. It's telling him he is in fucking pain. So it's not just one part. You're not just pieces of you. It's all of you. Your whole spiritual body is filled with love and anger and pain and sorrow and laughter and everything. Then the 4th house, hold on, is the House of, I can't believe I can't remember all of these right now. I just literally got done with it. It's the House, give me a second, I'm terrible with this. Not the House of Biology, obviously. The House of Responsibility. And basically, he sat in this theater watching all the miserable times of his life. He watched, people hurting him in his past. People, telling him he's worthless, and him getting in trouble for things he didn't even do. And that was the first day there, and it made him feel horrible because all he felt was just everyone wanted to hurt him. And the second day that he was there, it also showed what he did wrong in life, what he did to people that hurt people. And even if they were bullies to him, he still hurt them back as revenge. And it showed also that, just because someone hurts you doesn't mean that you have to get back at them, kind of thing. Then the next house was the House of Relationships, and I think that was my favorite house of all times because it shows all of his loved ones, all of his friends, his families, his teachers, and everyone that was part of his life, all their past lives with him as well. And that really hits a spot. We need to clean this. That really hits a spot because, like, it shows the relationships it had with those people, and you know how he changed those people's lives in this past life, in that past life, and in this life. Like, for say the bully, the bully at the beginning was hurting him, and then he hurt him, and it got to the point where he ruined his high school life so much that that bully grew up in jail after they graduated. And you know, it makes you think, what if you didn't do one thing to that person? Would they be an entirely different person if you didn't change them like that? And it really makes you think, you know, how you treat people and how you love people and how you want people to treat you as well. And that was my all-time favorite house because it also shows this random clip and his affection for this random person that he hasn't even met yet, because he left Earth to be on this spiritual journey. The fifth house, no, the sixth house, the fifth house was, the sixth house is the house of love. And obviously all these houses show love. They show the angels loving this person. No angel will force him to do anything. He chooses his path and he chooses his way. He can leave the path whenever he wants. He can go back to Earth whenever he wants. He can do anything he wants. But this house showed the 4 elements of love. Love, I really have to go back and read it because it will not make sense unless I say it.
I know why you are here, and I mean to.
Okay. Love is quiet. You don't have to say anything to love someone. You don't have to say, I love you so much, this, and this, and this. It's just words. It's just fucking words that come out of your mouth. I mean, yes, I tell people how much I love them and how much I respect them. But it means nothing whatsoever if you don't show it. It doesn't have to be spoken. The second element is love has no agenda. Meaning, no matter how much guilt a person feels, you don't have to ask them for anything. Like, if your father abused you while you were younger, that doesn't mean in the future, while he's on his deathbed, you have to ask him for shit just to respect you back. Because it doesn't matter. That abuse made you who you are now. It could ruin you in your life, but that's only if you let it ruin you in your life. What else? I'm terribly sorry, this video is really long. Love has the wisdom to use the other 3 perfectly. Or, no, love does not puff itself up. Meaning, you don't have to, basically you don't have to give so much love to someone just because they did something. You know, love someone the amount they deserve it. And then, obviously, like I said, love has the wisdom to use the other 3 perfectly. You love that person exactly the way they need to be loved. And you don't ever treat them differently because of who they are. And in that house, it also shows him the woman of his dreams that he never had a chance to see. And he feels so much pain because he just wished he could have loved her and been with her. It's his twin flame. It's the love of his life right there. But he didn't have a chance to see her. So he feels so much pain. But you realize, I mean, after this house, he goes on this battle with this ugly entity, and he wins because he knows that he's stronger, and he knows that he's brighter, and he's a fucking man of armor and power and truth. And the seventh house is telling him, I mean, every single angel asked him if he loved God. And he says, of course I love God. I love God with all my heart. And in the seventh house, it shows him the last angel is gold. And it shows him that he is God. The person you are is your God, and you don't need to believe in a higher power. You don't need to believe in a God or a majesty. You don't need to be Christian to believe in God. You don't have to be Jewish. You don't have to have a fucking religion to believe in a God. You are your own God, and you are your own power and entity and higher power. And, only you can give yourself the immense self-love that anyone is looking for. And it shows him, when he shows that he loves God and his God, the doors to home is earth. And if you want home, you can't just open a door to it. You have to make a home for yourself. You can't, it's something worth fighting for so passionately, that he has a chance to meet the woman of his dreams when he goes home. He has a chance to live a job and make money and live a life that he really wants, to make his own home. You can't just go on a path and find home. You have to work for it. You have to fight for your entire life just to feel like you're at home. Home is not something that just instantly comes to you. Love is something you must be patiently working for. You never work for it. It comes to you when you don't look for it. Because love is something that is the most strongest element of this world. That it's not something that just, that you have to work for. It is natural. It is pure. And I'm sorry this video is really long, but I wish I can say more. I'm not going to waste your guys' time, but this book is the most amazing book ever. That it teaches you how to love yourself, how to love others, how to breathe love, and just, oh my god, I feel like crying because of how amazing it does. But if anyone ever wants to read The Journey Home by Crayon, go to a local library, go to a spiritual store, go on eBay, Amazon, what the fuck ever, and look it up, read it if you really want the truth of life. It is the book of life. I'm sorry, but I've not read a book ever like this, and I hate my laptop. It's immensely great, and I hope you guys look it up at least and just learn, because I really did. I really needed this book at this moment of time, and I'm just really excited that I was able to get a hold of it by my other mother. So I'm going to finish getting ready for today because I have a friend coming over, and I really hope everyone has an amazingly beautiful day. Today looks kind of gloomy, but we'll see what happens. I love you guys. Thank you so much for your words of wisdom, and I hope my words of wisdom help you guys. And stay hopeful for the best. Home will come soon. Bye.